Hello everyone, and welcome to Psychoanalysis, where childhood traumas meet box office dramas. Get ready to dive deep into the twisted minds of fictional villains, because, sometimes, dissecting their psychological scars is the best therapy we never had as kids. Today, we are diving into one of the most beloved franchises of all time. That's right, I'm talking about Star Wars, baby! My peepaw
code name for grandfather
showed me the original trilogy while staying with him as a very young boy, and I've seen every new addition to the Skywalker saga in my lifetime in theaters. I had the action figures, I had the lightsabers, I had the extended lore books that are mostly not canon at this point. The point that I'm trying to make is that Star Wars and the story of Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi has a direct connection to my heart, and I cry when I see that scene every time. Embrace your feelings, ladies and fellas. Before we begin, be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. Now, onward with the analysis. Anakin Skywalker, the central figure of the Star Wars prequels, and I would go as far to say the vast majority of the Star Wars saga as a whole, is one of the most compelling characters in cinematic history. His journey from an innocent young slave boy to promising Jedi Knight to the Sith Lord Darth Vader is a tragic tale that delves into the depths of human complexity. This video aims to provide an in-depth analysis of Anakin's turn to the dark side and the acts of evil he commits, exploring the psychological, emotional, and contextual factors that contribute to his transformation. Before we begin our analysis of Skywalker's descent into the dark side, we will first go over the conditions of his childhood before his fate became entangled with the Jedi Order. Anakin Skywalker's life before the Jedi Order was one of hardship and struggle. Born on the desolate desert planet of Tatooine, he grew up in the humblest of circumstances. Anakin was raised as a slave and forced to work under the oppressive rule of his master, Watto. Despite the challenges he faced, Anakin exhibited a natural talent for mechanics, as shown in his creation of C-3PO at an incredibly young age, and an uncanny ability to pilot vehicles, which he proudly displayed in his pod races. His innate skills, coupled with an insatiable curiosity and ambition, set him apart from his peers. Anakin's life took a pivotal turn when he encountered Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, two Jedi Knights who arrived on Tatooine during a mission to protect Queen Amidala. It was during this encounter that Anakin's incredible connection to the Force was discovered. Prior to this fateful meeting, Anakin's existence had been defined by struggle and servitude. Yet it was through these challenging experiences that his resilience and determination were forged, laying the foundation for his extraordinary journey as he embarked on the path to becoming a Jedi Knight, blissfully unaware of the challenges and hardships ahead of him. His relationships with Obi-Wan Kenobi, who would become the closest thing to a brother Anakin could ever have, and Padme Amidala, his future wife, would prove to be perhaps the most consequential in his life, outside of his relationship with his mother, as well as Sheev Palpatine, also known as Emperor Palpatine, or Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith. Anakin Skywalker's inner conflict and emotional turmoil lie at the heart of his tragic transformation. From an early age, he experienced the trauma of losing his mother, first in the sense of leaving to become a Jedi, then again in the literal sense as a very young man, creating a deep-seated fear of abandonment and loss. This fear fuels his attachment to loved ones, particularly Padme Amidala, and exposes his vulnerability to the allure of the dark side. Anakin's struggle to reconcile his Jedi training, which emphasizes emotional detachment, with his intense emotions and desire for connection, creates a constant internal battle. His inability to let go of his attachments and the overwhelming fear of losing those he loves ultimately leads him down a treacherous path, where the promises of power and control from the dark side become increasingly tempting. Anakin's inner conflict serves as a cautionary reminder of the delicate balance between emotions and the choices we make, showcasing the devastating consequences when fear and attachment consume an individual. His desire to possess extraordinary abilities and manipulate the forces of life and death becomes a driving force behind his actions. Emperor Palpatine exploits this ambition, preying on his vulnerabilities and promising him the power to save his loved ones from suffering and even death. Anakin's thirst for control intensifies as he witnesses the limitations of the Jedi Order and their inability to prevent the tragedies he fears. The allure of the dark side's promise of unlimited power and the ability to shape the galaxy according to his will become increasingly irresistible. This seduction blinds Anakin to the consequences of his own choices, pushing him further away from his former self and deeper into the clutches of darkness. As a dedicated Jedi Knight, Anakin places unwavering trust in the Jedi Order and his mentor, Obi-Wan Kenobi. However, as events unfold, Anakin becomes increasingly disillusioned with the Jedi's teaching and their perceived hypocrisy.
Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil!
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
He feels betrayed by the very institution that he had devoted himself to, as he witnesses their involvement in political maneuverings and their failure to address the corruption within the Republic. This sense of betrayal fuels his growing resentment and erodes his faith in the Jedi's ability to bring about true justice and peace. Anakin's disillusionment not only sows the seeds of doubt within him, but also leads him susceptible to the manipulations of Palpatine, who capitalizes on his feelings of betrayal to further turn him against the Jedi Order. Sheev Palpatine cunningly exploits Anakin's vulnerabilities, capitalizing on his fears, frustrations, and desires. With masterful deception, he presents himself as a mentor and confidant, offering Anakin the guidance and understanding that he perceives the Jedi Order to lack. Palpatine strategically plants seeds of doubt about the Jedi and their principles, gradually eroding Anakin's trust in their leadership. Through carefully crafted narratives and the revelation of his true Sith identity, Palpatine entices Anakin with promises of unlimited power, the ability to save loved ones from death, and the opportunity to reshape the galaxy according to his own vision. By exploiting Anakin's emotional attachments, insecurities, and thirst for control, Palpatine maneuvers him closer and closer to the dark side. Anakin Skywalker's broken relationships with Obi-Wan Kenobi and his wife Padme Amidala played a pivotal role in his transformation into the infamous Sith Lord, Darth Vader. As Anakin's Jedi training progressed, tensions grew between him and his mentor, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's cautious nature clashed with Anakin's impulsive and headstrong approach, fueling a growing sense of frustration and resentment within the young Jedi Knight. These conflicts, combined with Anakin's fear of loss and his attachment to those he loved, created the perfect breeding ground for manipulation by Chancellor Palpatine. When the revelation that Palpatine was the Sith Lord orchestrating the Clone Wars came to light, Anakin's loyalty was put to the ultimate test. Manipulated by promises of saving his beloved wife Padme from death and achieving his own unlimited power, Anakin succumbed to the dark side. The climactic duel on Mustafar between Anakin and Obi-Wan became the embodiment of their shattered bond. Obi-Wan's defeat of Anakin, and his leaving him for dead, further deepened Anakin's sense of betrayal and abandonment, cementing his transformation into Darth Vader. Driven by pain, anger, and a twisted desire for control, Anakin fully embraced the dark side, becoming the iconic Sith Lord whose actions would shape the galaxy's fate for years to come. Anakin's transformation culminates in the harrowing act of leading a massacre on the Jedi Temple. Consumed by rage, betrayal, and a thirst for power, Anakin betrays the very institution that nurtured and trained him. With a heart filled with darkness, he leads the assault on the sacred sanctuary of the Jedi, mercilessly striking down fellow Jedi Knights, including innocent younglings. This horrifying act showcases the depths to which Anakin has fallen, and highlights the profound shift in his moral compass. The massacre of the Jedi Temple not only symbolizes Anakin's complete abandonment of the principles he once held dear, but also represents the irreversible rupture of his former identity as a Jedi Knight. It serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences that arise when unchecked anger, fear, and the allure of the dark side take hold of an individual's soul. Anakin's feelings of betrayal by Padme stem from his belief that she no longer supports him unconditionally. His fear of losing her and the unborn child they share leads him to question her loyalty, adding to his growing sense of isolation. These feelings of betrayal by two individuals he held dear contribute to his spiraling emotional turmoil and create fertile ground for the dark side's manipulations. The sense of betrayal fuels his anger and resentment, pushing him further away from the light and closer to the embrace of darkness. As Master Yoda said, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. Darth Vader's eventual redemption and return to the light side of the Force were motivated by several key factors. Firstly, the love and connection he still had for his son Luke played a significant role. Luke's unwavering belief in the good within his father, and his refusal to give up on him ignited a spark of compassion and self-reflection within Darth Vader. Secondly, Vader's encounters with Emperor Palpatine's cruelty, and his realization that he had been manipulated and used as a tool for evil began to sow seeds of doubt within him. Witnessing the Emperor's sadistic attempts to kill Luke pushed Vader to confront the dark path he had chosen, and the pain he had inflicted upon others. Additionally, Vader's own inner conflict, as well as his guilt and remorse for his actions, intensified as he reflected on the person he once was as Anakin Skywalker. In a climactic moment during the Battle of Endor, Vader made a pivotal decision to save his son's life by sacrificing himself and turning against his master, the Emperor. This act of selflessness and redemption, combined with the overwhelming presence of Luke's love and forgiveness, shattered the hold of the dark side over him and allowed Anakin Skywalker to emerge once more. By renouncing his identity as Darth Vader and choosing to save his son, Anakin found redemption and restored balance to the Force, leaving behind a legacy of hope. His sacrifice marks a turning point in the Star Wars saga, underscoring the importance of forgiveness, love, and the possibility of redemption, even for the most fallen. Anakin's legacy lies with his children, Luke and Leia, who carry forward his journey, ensuring that his redemption is not in vain, and that the lessons learned from his mistakes shape the future of the galaxy. Anakin Skywalker's journey from a heroic Jedi Knight to the feared Darth Vader is a tragic and deeply complex narrative. His turn to the dark side and acts of evil are influenced by a multitude of factors, including fear, manipulation, and disillusionment. The character of Anakin Skywalker reminds us of the fine line between good and evil, and the consequences of our choices. His story serves as a cautionary tale, illustrating the destructive power of unchecked emotions and the importance of compassion, forgiveness, and redemption. Thank you all so much for joining me for this episode of Psychoanalysis. Please remember to like and subscribe, and make sure to comment below to let me know who you think I should cover next. As we conclude our journey delving into the mind of Anakin Skywalker, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us on this exploration of the human psyche. Remember, while we analyze fictional villains, it's crucial to tend to our own mental well-being. Take the time to nurture your mind, seek support, and prioritize self-care. May your own journey be filled with compassion, growth, and a profound understanding of the light that shines from within. Take care, until we meet again.